A heavy metal legend, the legendary wedding dresses of Vera Wang, and gourmet recipes for crab. Here's where we're taking you off duty today. I'm Wendy. Welcome to the show. He's known for hard living and brushes with the law, but now rock and roll bad boy Vince Neil of Motley Crue is taking that fury and channeling it into his businesses. Lee Hawkins explores.
Vince Neil, as the lead singer of Motley Crue and as a solo artist in his own right, he's a heavy metal music legend, known for his distinctive voice and for his personification of the rock and roll lifestyle in its most authentic form. He released an album and a book recently. He's here to talk about those and the many facets of his life. Welcome. Being back with Crue and all of the things that you do with them. There was the hiatus that you had away from the group. Now, how does it feel? Are things different than they were back then?
No, not really. I mean, we just kind of took a little break from each other for a couple of years, and but you know, we go out there and tour and playing to bigger crowds than we've ever had, and you know, our audience is so diverse now. You know, it's not just the fans that grew up with you. You know, because this is our 30-year anniversary. And but you have 15 and 16-year-olds with Shout the Devil shirts on, and you know, dads with their 5-year-olds on the shoulders, and everything in between. You have a biker standing next to an attorney, you know, and everything else. So it's you know, we've gotten lucky where we've tapped into that next generation.
When I think about some of the literature that's been out there, I think about Neil Strauss' The Dirt.
Yeah.
And you know, even in your book, you never spared any details about not just yourself, but about your bandmates. With your autobiography, what kind of reaction did you get from your bandmates, Tommy and Nikki, about the things that you were putting out there?
They never really brought it up.
Did you ever talk to them about it?
No, you know, because they've all put out books on their own. And they kind of tell it like it is in their books too. You know, I just have certain views of the way things are done and different personalities, and then you got to put it out there. You know, and I mean, we're all great friends. You know, we get along great and we have fun together on the road. But there's, you know, we've been together for 30 years. You know, I've known Tommy for most of my life. You know, we went to high school together. Yeah. You know, so you know, you're with the same guys for that long, you know, it's like that squeezing the toothpaste, you know, from the middle or from the top. You're gonna piss somebody off.
Yeah, and you know, your reputation always precedes you. Part of your persona over the years has been shaped by this kind of rock and roll lifestyle. It's led to a lot of publicity, lots of success in the industry, also even some tragedy.
Oh yeah.
Lots of things have happened over the years. You were convicted of vehicular manslaughter in the mid-1980s.
Yep.
After a drunk driving incident, there was a guy killed in that. So then you went for 15 days for that to jail. You also struggled with addiction, kicked out of the group. But for all of the success that you've had, do you ever in private moments feel that you regret your lifestyle or the pain that you caused yourself or anyone else?
No, I mean, obviously, what I've tried to do in my life is you try to learn from your mistakes, you know, and obviously I've made mistakes, just like most people have made mistakes in their life. And you just try to learn from those mistakes and better your life. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, you know, but it's, you kind of try your best.
One thing that you wrote in your book that stood out was, we are all very lucky we didn't kill ourselves. Death was never my intent. I just wanted to feel good. I was just looking for that next kick, that next high. These days, I've got businesses to run. I like the action, something to get your heart pumping, healthier than a syringe full of cocaine powder. Do you really mean that? Does business excite you that much? And have you been able to find a better place in that sense with business?
It's a lot of fun. It's almost like making an album. You know, you start with an idea, and you build on it, and then when it's done, you can stand back and go, "Wow, look what I just made." You know, so like doing a tattoo shop or the nightclub. You know, it's nice to have have the idea, and then actually see it come together. You know, it's really exciting, and to go there and see that other people are enjoying it just as much as you are. It's an adrenaline rush.
Lee, Vince Neil, he seems to have been in and out of trouble with the law since he first joined Motley Crue, even up to last year. What is it about these rockers that seems that they can't stay out of trouble?
Well, I think that authenticity and the troubles that they're in are the very things that often make them commercially viable, make them able to write the songs and record the songs that kind of get within people's emotions, the rock and roll lifestyle. And it's something that you see with a lot of people, and Vince Neil is probably a poster child for the authenticity of the rock lifestyle. I think that Vince Neil is aware that he's made mistakes in his life. He doesn't shy away from that. He's gone through rehab, he was kicked out of the group for a while, but he's still one of the big stars, you know, with rock and roll. The lead singer of Motley Crue, which is an iconic role, and he's got successful businesses, and I think his tattoo parlor and his bar are things that are kind of starting to replace the rock and roll mythology. He gets a lot of satisfaction out of those.
Does the public really care when these superstar rock and roll legends get into trouble? Do they care?
I think the public expects it. It's come to expect that. It's just a part of show business. And the thing is that as Vince Neil gets older, he's now in his 50s, and he's evolving too. Everybody evolves, and hopefully the best thing is for someone that gets involved in drugs and that kind of lifestyle is for them to evolve and get over it, and he seems to be someone that is going to make it.
And talk about custom fittings. One fashion company is taking social media to a whole new level, letting customers vote on which clothes it puts into production. Stacey Delo reports from San Francisco.
The company that brought us quarter-rounds, corduroys that go around instead of up and down and claim to be aerodynamically superior, wants you to like its clothes. And if you do, they'll make them. Take the Disco reversible hoodie.
One photo that we put up on the site was able to get 600 to 800 signups, which gave us the green light to go ahead and make them.
Or take the Capron, the world's first cape apron hybrid.
We went ahead and sew up one within, I think, an hour. We actually just took a sketch of a whiteboard of what it would be and the reason behind it, put it up on the site that day, and I think within a week and a half we had about 400 or so requests on it, and Regis and Kelly were wearing them barbecuing on their 4th of July show, I think a week after that.
It's a social affair from start to finish at San Francisco-based clothing maker Beta Brand. New clothes are brainstormed at company-wide weekly meetings, complete with beer and wine. The good ones are prototyped and thrown into the company's online think tank, where a community of fans votes them in or out.
And how long is the process then between when you all think about it in your session, throw it up online, and then potentially begin actually selling and shipping?
Sure. The earliest is 2 weeks, and the average is about 2 months.
The retail industry in general is working hard to go social. Big brands are turning to Facebook for marketing and customer interaction, while a slew of daily flash sites like Gilt Group and Rue La La have seen tremendous growth. Beta Brand's biggest challenges may be getting the reach it needs to sell more products and then keeping up with demand. The company plans to release between 50 and 100 original products this year, all online, with more and more thrown into the think tank.
So what it does is it allows us to sort of test whether people care about it with a minimal expense on prototype and a minimal expense on photography, and then you have your customers tell you if you want more of them.
Lindland points to the latest demand for their dress sweatpants, made from fabric that was intended for another product and which sold out in the first run in 48 hours.
And we are now somewhere deep into our second resupply.
To include the fans even more, their Model Citizen campaign lets customers upload photos of themselves sporting Beta Brand clothes, then creates a unique URL that turns the customer into the product model, allowing them to easily share and promote themselves and Beta Brand on Facebook or Twitter or wherever they like. All said, Beta Brand's social tactic seems to be working. The company is anticipating $2 million in sales in 2012. That's double from 2010.
And Vera Wang is launching a new iPad app that takes you from saying yes to actually buying the dress.
And managing your guest list, tracking all those thank you notes, picking your bouquet.
Kelsey Hubbard here. She got a sneak peek. Let's take a look.
Congratulations! You're engaged and planning a wedding. Well, now there's a new app for that. Vera Wang, one of the most well-known names in bridal luxury, is launching a new wedding design tool app for brides-to-be.
I had that ability as an ex-editor, fashion editor at a magazine. I had that ability to really think in terms of different styles. There are so many different kinds of women, and each woman can be so many types of women on her wedding day.
But to be sure, with close to $72 billion spent on weddings each year, there are already wedding apps available to help brides imagine all their wedding possibilities, including the Wedding 911 by TheKnot.com and Condé Nast's Bride's Wedding Genius, both of which are free, unlike Vera Wang's $9.99 app. The apps are similar in that they offer design tips like inspiration boards and even tools for managing the budget and guest list. But few top wedding dress designers have launched wedding apps specific to their brand or have quite the same recognition as Vera Wang.
This app is my way of communicating with the bride directly. The very fact that I came from Vogue magazine and I came from Ralph Lauren gave me a very different viewpoint about fashion and gave me the freedom to make a contribution that was much more about being a designer who does wedding gowns than a bridal designer. My mother was the first iconic woman that influenced me. She made me understand that it wasn't only about design, it was about style and attitude.
High society brides and red carpet regulars have consistently turned to Vera Wang over the years to design the gown of their dreams. But the less famous faces may not have had the opportunity to connect with the designer in any real way until now. App users will gain access to Vera's Twitter feed, newsletter, and Facebook posts.
So really we've broken it down into two sections. There's the design and then there's the actual wedding planner. So the design step takes you through choosing your dress, putting your inspiration board together, really mapping out the look and the feel of your wedding. And then the tools help you to stay organized once you've started to send out your invites and get wedding gifts in. Has your guest RSVP'd? Have you sent a thank you note when you get a gift? What table are they sitting at? Whose list are they on? That's one of the biggest parts. Is it a bride? Is it a groom? Is it the parents' list? So just to help to keep you organized.
The app will launch close to Valentine's Day, and prospective brides should note they don't have to be buying a Vera Wang dress for their big day to use the app or get access to all the organizational tools, and you don't have to be newly engaged either. The app is meant to be used for brides at any point in their wedding planning process.
Or if you prefer to skip the wedding talk, now how about just a romantic meal? Now champagne is good, but more impressive yet, gourmet crab. Trust me on this one. Check out these recipes.
Entertaining this year? Get cracking. Dungeness crab from the Pacific Ocean is a staple on the West Coast and is featured on the menus of many restaurants during its season. This sweet and succulent crab is a particular favorite at Aubergine Restaurant at the Hotel L'Auberge in Carmel, California. Chef Justin Cogley shows how easy and versatile crab can be.
Here we have the cooked Dungeness crab has been 8 minutes in the boiling salted water. They come off very, very simple. So it's no hard work. Base of our stock. And this is where we get into some of the head meat.
The shells go in a hot pot with some olive oil.
We have our shells in there. We have some of the head meat still left in there also to give some of the flavor. We saved all the claws, for a big celebration. Just some shallots. We cut them. And we're gonna make a real light soup. So we have some fennel and coriander seed, which has just been lightly toasted. We're gonna add all that in there also.
It simmers about 40 minutes and then gets strained.
Beautiful.
Yum, but just make sure they're not allergic to shellfish. All right, that's it for today's WSJ Off Duty. You can click to subscribe to the channel. Join me on Twitter. I'm Wendy Bounds, and I will see you back here tomorrow.